Hey, how's it going? To the YouTube people who are just opening this up now, how are you doing? How is life? Oh, should I center myself with Metatron's cube? Doesn't matter. No. Prince Priestess, how are you doing? Spirit Baby, good to see you. Morning, how are you guys doing? It's good to see familiar faces. First thing, how are you guys doing? Swift. Hey, Noel's Flower. How's everybody's Sunday morning? Doing sleepy, but well. I hear that. I hear that. I'm doing all right. I'm doing well. I just got up an hour ago myself, so yeah, I hear ya. Spirit Baby. Well, the thing I manifested on Wednesday come true. I get yes eventually, but she might have to give it some time. I would also hold out for it. I would not give up too early on that. Good morning, Renee. I'm really sleepy from all the rain. I hear that. Seems maybe it's that kind of morning for a lot of people. The Cosmic Cosmo. Good morning. How's it going? Deja, hey, how are ya? How are ya? The Cosmic Cosmo. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. I'm doing well. I'm here. I'm ready to do the work today. Matcha morning. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Prince Priestess, city or apartment? I got city, between the two, apartment in the city. They're saying you'll be fine with an apartment, but city for sure, is what they said, Prince Priestess, regarding the moving. Any more clarity? If you can help it, I also wouldn't rush the process. I don't know if that makes any sense, because sometimes if you have a lease, like, yeah, you gotta rush. But, I feel like overall it's going to be a smooth move for the most part once you kind of get the details settled in. And you'll have a place too. I'm also nervous because I just auditioned for this holiday choir. Good luck, Noel's Flower. I hope you get it. Username 123571910 asks, will the police academy get pushed back for me? I'm getting not likely. I don't think it will, unless you choose it. That's what I get. Deja, not okay, but it's fine. I'm sorry to hear that, Deja. I was gonna ask, because there were dots after your hey. I was like, dots after the hey seems a little fishy. But I hope you get better. One second. I'm doing all right though. I'm doing okay. Jesse Lovato, should I take up boxing? You can. I'm not sure it will be your jam. There's no downside, but I feel like overall there's better for you, Jesse Lovato. So I'm not discouraging it, but I don't feel like it'll be long term. Is what I get. That's what I get. Prince Pieces. Oh, wow, it's still on the West Coast. Yeah, I get West Coast-ish. Yeah, so around there. So we got the Empress 444. Hey, how are you doing? When did you get that tattoo? I had this since I got this in like 2016, 2015, a while ago. I think I was 23 or 4. So, gosh, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago. But yeah, it was a different time in my life. For sure. Really good. Will I do well on my project? I get mostly. I feel like overall, yes. I would keep going with it. Don Laurie, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Don Laurie. Good morning, Charlotte. How are you doing? Okay, so chat is already being You don't know, you're sorry. Oh, did Deja? Sorry, I missed something in chat. Oh, no, don't apologize, Deja. You're good. Unless I missed something in chat. Okay, I'm going to switch to Q&A because I think chat is moving and it's difficult for me to keep up with the chat questions. So, 1 second. Noel's Flowers, any messages for you from Spirit? Well, yes, let's see. Mother Mary Oracle card deck. So 2 cards come out. Our Lady of Blessings, this is the Mother Mary Oracle card deck. Our Lady of Blessings Bestowed, and we have Our Lady of New Vision. So, you might find it's time to go in a new direction. This might be a smaller thing. It doesn't mean your whole life is redirecting, though it could. I also feel like you're going to be blessed with an opportunity, or you are being blessed with an opportunity as something coming in with the Mother Mary Oracle card deck here. Might be work related based on what I'm hearing. They're giving me this message, like they're showing a soccer field and people shooting a soccer ball at a net, and the message they're giving me, the words they're giving me with that visual is go for the goal. So if you have goals, I would really not delay in going for them. I would put them into action and let the universe meet you halfway on those is one thing they're saying. Anything else with these cards? Top card, Angel deck. Archangel Muriel, give and receive love, obey the spiritual laws. You've got the wolves by him. The wolves, sorry, wolf spirit animal. They don't care. They're just like, we don't care. So, so pretty much what I get with this, so there's this flute on this dude's, like, around this dude's neck here, in his pouch or whatever. And what I'm also getting is, like, follow your own dance, and sing your own song. So that's, for you, I would not get swallowed up by others' ways, are the exact words they're giving me, Noel's Flower. Make sure you're also taking time for what you want to do and living life the way you want to live it. And of course, like, there's a little bit of give and take, because you might have a job when you're like, this isn't what I want to do. I understand. But in general, as far as the rest of your life, and you can at least move the directions you want to move. And in your spare time, to the best of your ability, I would live life the way you want to live it. And even in your job, there's probably ways you can live life the way you want to live it. Or you can choose how you want to be as well while you're working that job. Anything else, guys? They're also showing me rain. What's the rain about? Also, and they're giving me the word cleansing. I feel like there's a lot of crap being washed away is pretty much what they're saying. So it's kind of like being cleansed. So you might find for the next couple of months is what they're saying, like things just kind of falling away, maybe like a torrential downpour, but it's cleansing. I feel like it's needed. It's for the highest good. So that's a lot of what I get. I would also follow your heart. I don't usually use the booklets, and I'm not going to use the booklet. But on the cover of this booklet, for the Mother Mary Oracle card deck, they pointed my eyes to the heart while it was just laying here, and they said, "Follow your heart" was the message. So that's what I get for you. I hope that sees you well. But those are some of the messages I get for you right now. Good morning, Pure Divine. Brave, Sharon, Johanna's one. How does this work? You pretty much just ask a question, and I get to as many questions as I can, as I'm guided to. That's pretty much how it works. Oh, hey, Texas Jess. Thank you so much. Okay, back to the Q&A. Anna Banana 41. Will learning to channel help me communicate better? Yes. Yes. And it might not be an immediate road. It might be a longer road, but yes, overall, one, because you can have guidance from your guides mid-conversation. Happens all the time for me, where even in work, back in the day, like in work conversations, there were definitely times when I would be talking to, I don't know, I guess you'd call them a boss, and like like something would come up and they'd be like, oh, well, do you have anything you want to say regarding like your experiences in the department? And I was pretty much going to be really nice. And then my guides were like, be honest. And so then they kind of showed me, I was pretty much very honest, and they showed me some of the things to say and then also some of the ways to present the information. So like, yes, because you can be very guided through your conversations. And you'll also learn more about where other people are coming from. One, because channeling also can open up your other gifts, your intuition. You become more intuitive. You just start to see more energetically, for a lot of people who venture into that work. So like, you'll know where people are coming from. You'll kind of have a better sense of what's going on in the conversation because you'll be picking up on it energetically. You'll just be in a more intuitive place. Your guides will more than likely be guiding through you, always guiding you through it. And so you'll just have a lot more support in those conversations and a lot more awareness of what's going on, which allows you to speak to the heart of the conversation more as well. I'm not saying you'll be perfect 24/7. It'll just be easier, but it can be a bit of a road to get to that point. So that's, I hope that makes sense. And I hope I got the full question. I know sometimes like it doesn't give you enough word space and letter space to like actually get the full question out. So I hope I'm actually like answering the full question. I hope you didn't have something specific you were asking about and it wasn't like, so is there anything else I want to say that might answer to that? Honestly, I want to say it's going to help you with everything. Yes, it's a little bit different than how... Actually, a lot of people channel and don't realize it. It's something that I've encountered. But as far as like full channel mode, talking to your guides and stuff, that can take a bit of practice. However, it's also, I feel like, becoming slightly more common. So, or at least people following their intuition is becoming way more common. Let's go. Too cool, party goals. Will I have a change in career soon? Thank you. Yes, I get soon-ish. It's like in the nearest future. So I wouldn't expect it like tomorrow, but it's coming. It's on the way, is what I'd say. So keep doing what you're doing to make that happen. Is pretty much what I'm getting. But that is coming. I feel like you're successfully manifesting it, is what they're saying. The Empress 444. Oh, thanks for the butterflies, Lori. I really appreciate it, Lori. Thank you so much for all the gifts. Anything I need to hear for this month? This has been a thing that's come through for a few people, but for you as well, I'd say this is a good time to go within. At the same time, there might be I don't know if dichotomy is the right word, but I want to say there might be a bit of dichotomy because there might be a lot of action this month as well. I also want to say good fortune is coming for this month, or beyond it, is something they're saying. You might see signs and synchronicities and that stuff ramping up. I also want to say more of what you want is coming in, like more of the energies, things you wanted to see in relationships, some of the people, potentially places. For some reason, I want to say like those are coming in more for you. If you're doing the work, like the self-work, or you need to do the work, I would, first of all, I would keep doing the work, is pretty much what they're saying. I would also give yourself a pat on the back for doing the work you've done so far. So is a bat spirit animal part of this? No. Okay. Weird message. This card popped out, and there's this angel, it's Archangel Muriel, who I'm not familiar with, but he's on this card. In theory, I'm not familiar with him. Anyways, but there's this Earth, and then there's the planets, and they're saying this message of like go galactic. So you might even in your meditations go galactic. If you're into the starseed thing, you might want to look into that if that's your jam. If you're into, like, I don't know, working with Arcturians or Pleiadians, if that's your jam, maybe look into that as well. But do it if it resonates, if that feels right to you. Something about go. So what more specifically? Okay, I feel like that was it. One more card. Opening the deck. Our Lady of Innocence popping out. This card likes to pop out a lot. But what is this for you? I also get, and this is a common energy, I want to say, I think, going around, but this has nothing to do with the card in theory. Well, it kind of does because she's wearing robes, but I feel like you're graduating in some sense. Maybe not literally, but like energetically. It's like some type of graduation or moving on to something higher is what I'd say. I would also keep up with any like rituals you're doing daily. I feel like it's daily rituals. That's it. Actually, they want a tarot card for you as well. So give me 1 second. Try to let go of this, is what they're saying. 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords, so typically a card of anxiety and worry. But it's also like, is it unnecessary? So like they understand why you're worried. It's not like, hey, you're dumb for worrying, because that's not usually ever the case. They're like sometimes, but not this case. I don't think anyone's ever dumb, and then angels never really call people dumb. Sometimes if I'm being dumb, they'll poke at me with it and be like, hey, stop being silly. I'm like, okay. But for you, this is unnecessary. The worry, I feel like, is unnecessary. So it doesn't mean, like, stay on the ball, yes, but try not to freak out. So I think there's a middle ground of like paying attention but not freaking out, if that makes sense, is one thing they're saying. I feel like there's a leap coming up, leap of faith with the Fool. So you might find yourself going in a new direction at some point here, probably October actually, but yeah, I think that's more TBD, to be declared. That's a lot of what I get. Anything else for you? I think one of the main messages as well is just pay attention to the signs, synchronicities around you, to the people, to the incentives people have, to any motives people have. I don't think there's anything fishy, because they're saying there's nothing fishy, but why pay attention? Really just a good time to cultivate your awareness is what they'd say. So further, I hope that helps. Empress 444, hope that makes sense. They're playing the Star Wars theme for me right now, so why is that, guys? And they're like, don't worry about it. Okay. Who's next here? First Priest says, how can I be the best help to others right now? It's going to be a combination. I think, I feel like there's going to be people you're drawn to help. But I would not try to force it. I wouldn't try to like force your help on other people. And like, sorry, they're giving me, it was a funny visual, but I don't know if I can describe it in a way that is funny as well to you guys. But one thing, like doing your self-work, this has come through a little bit. I don't know if it was for you or someone else, but doing your self-work will be a help for other people. I feel like you do that a lot. So I would, if you're doing that, keep it up. Honestly, like making yourself of service. Like if your friend wants a tarot reading, do a tarot reading. Like, and even just like reaching out to some of the people around you that you feel called to, and just offering an ear, honestly. I don't feel like there's anything specific you need to do, but I feel like this is more like life in general, wanting to be of service. So anything else more on that, guys? Here's a message too. Honestly, like they're like helping people around you is one of the best ways to be of help to others right now. And it's in the ways you feel called. It's in if it resonates for you and makes sense to you. And agrees with your boundaries, is helping people in the way they ask you to as well. I feel like you're almost to a point where you're going to be helping people a lot, but it's not necessarily time yet. Thanks for the hand hearts, Shamika. It's not necessarily time yet where it's like full bore. I feel like something like in your next career choice is something they're saying. I think you're going to be helping people a lot. And they're saying humanitarian. I feel like there's a lot more humanitarianism coming into your life. It's just going to be a part of what you do, honestly, as one thing they're saying. So keep that in mind, and I would definitely keep an open mind as well. But anything you can do to reach out to people who you think are struggling in your life, anything you can do to be there for people, like on a friendship level, perfect. But there is a greater depth that you're going towards to help people. It's just like, it's not all, it hasn't all shown up yet, is what they're saying. Does that make sense, Prince Priestess? So I guess like to recap, to reiterate, definitely like self-work is a great way, reaching out to the people that you feel like need to be reached out to. Definitely lending an easier, lending an ear, a listening ear. Words are blending together. And last bit. I feel like there's one last bit that would be helpful here. I feel like sometimes you're more of a help than you realize as well, Prince Priestess, even in brief conversations with you, even in just your truth telling, even in just like, even just showing up for people when you need it most. Because even like when I did a reading for you, you said some really cool things for me. I'm like, oh, that really helped actually. So I guess I have to thank you for the help you've provided for me, even if you didn't realize you did it. So I wanted to throw that your way as well, because I think sometimes we undermine the help we already provide, or belittle it and think it's not enough. But it actually has a big butterfly effect. That doesn't mean don't do more if you feel called to do more. That's just something to keep in mind. And that could go for a multitude of people as well. Love Brie Marie 555. Oh, 555 is a number that's been showing up a lot. Change time. Should I keep trying to make it work with my hobby? Yes, for now. If it gets to a breaking point, I would leave. And you might feel like you have reached a breaking point. I don't feel like you actually have yet. It might be getting close. I feel like at some point he might turn around and try for the relationship. But at that point, you're going to have to see if you're really willing to keep going with it, is one thing they're saying. So it's worth trying for now, I think. But I would stick with it and see how you feel in a month. Like, can you keep going? Is it worth it for you? Overall, I feel like it can work out, but you're gonna have to be patient. Thanks for the water time reminder. I didn't see who sent it. I just saw the hearts and the water time. So short answer, yes, for now. Stick with it. I feel like it is worth it if you stick with it. Of course, if there's abuse going on, don't stay. But you're gonna have to have a lot of patience if you want to turn that relationship around. So in a lot of ways, it is kind of up to you as well, as one thing they're saying. Hi, Bella. Okay, 1 second to catch up on water. You're welcome, Love Brie Marie. Okay, next point. Woodland, Wahina. Should I go to Colorado now? I get it's a good place, but not yet, is one thing they're saying. I feel like there's a few more things that need to be sorted out is what I'm getting. I hope that helps. It's a good place. I feel like a little bit more patience here. All right, next question here. Sorry, I was looking for the next person. Annie Penny Pie, anything from the angels for me? I get it's time for purification. Archangel Amethyst, purify your life with love, prepare for something better. I also get the word upgrade. So I feel like you're getting a life upgrade in the near future that might not be coming in just yet. But I feel like you're being purified for better is pretty much it. They're also talking about honing your higher connection if you can. So that's meditating. Working with crystals also would be a good idea, something they're saying with this card. And one message they're also saying is like, you have wings, use them, is something they're saying. So what does that mean? I feel like that's very much in general. As far as that message for you, I get it's honing in just higher energies in general in your life and coming from a higher perspective and doing your best to hone that in. And if you have spiritual gifts, if you feel like you do, I would definitely hone them in. I feel like it's worth honing if you haven't already. I feel like there's going to be more love around you as well. You might be getting a love offer if you're single. They're giving me the word love offer, so keep that in mind. This card for me, it's not exactly what this card is supposed to be about, but that's the words they're giving me, and it looks like he's offering a flower, so that's where I get that. And so what else for you? They're also giving me this message that nothing's going to stay the same, Andy Pandy Pie. And if you're not single, don't worry about that. I think there's just increased love. But things aren't going to stay the same. I think like they're kind of showing you on this ground, but it's like earthquakey or tumultuous, or kind of like, it's just kind of like the ground is not solid. And so that's a good thing. I think you're shifting out of a lot of old patterns and things that have been keeping you stuck. And it's kind of like the universe is quite naturally bringing you towards more of your destiny, actually, interestingly enough, is what they're saying. So pay attention to how things are shifting, and I would also not panic if something just like falls away, or if you're like, oh, that's not how I used to be, this is new. A lot of it's just you shifting, but it's also like, it's almost like the land you're standing on, so your environment, your life outside of you is shifting around like puzzle pieces in a way to just kind of bring in a new pattern that better suits you, a bit more higher aligned, not so difficult as something they're saying as well. So but I feel like that's a lot of what's coming in for you over the next while. Hope that makes sense, Andy Penny Pie. Bella, good to see ya. Oh yes, I definitely would, Andy Penny Pie. You're welcome. Bella asks, hey Brandon, anything from the universe for me? Yeah, I get grace on the rise as the first thing. They're also talking about challenges. I feel like you have been facing challenges. They want to say you're doing great. They're kind of giving this message of be like the bull that charges ahead. Pretty much, so be like the bull that charges ahead regarding any challenges. Like, what's the message here? Like a bull will kind of just like, don't take this literally. Give me 1 second. A bull will kind of just charge at people. It doesn't really give an F, if that makes sense. He kind of just goes for it. And so I'm not saying charge at people and bull them over literally or with your words. It's more like your challenges. I would almost like not give a you know what and just like go for it. They're also giving this message of sturdy. I feel like you're becoming sturdy is what they're saying, Bella. And that's not a physical thing. That's more like sturdy in life where you're just able to handle things. And they're giving me this visual. Like one time, Funny story, but I was hanging out with friends, and for some reason, our friends. Okay, rando story. But I worked at a metaphysical shop, and one of the employees wanted to teach everybody karate. I don't know where this came from. I forget exactly why this even came about. So we all hung out at this one girl's house, and we were practicing karate. And or martial arts, and so like she had these pads. She was teaching us how to punch and stuff. I already took martial arts when I was a kid, so I kind of knew what I was doing. But she'd throw the pads out, and then like when I'd punch, she'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, hit it." And so like it's kind of what I see for you as far as like the challenges, like when like something like comes your way, you're like, "Yeah, I got this. Yeah, like I'm taking this on." So it's weird. It's like life throws something your way, and you're like, "Yeah, I got this." That attitude might help, Bella. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like that tough guy attitude, but it's not necessarily being a tough guy. It's being kind and you and authentic, but it's like I got this attitude. Weird message. I hope that makes sense. There's more. Sorry. They want me to pull an angel card for you. Another one. They're also saying self-study would help. If there's anything you're interested in like doing, like business or anything else, I would also look into that and study it more. But self-examination, I feel like, will lead to a lot of answers in your life as to why things are the way they are. Something they wanted to say. That's what I got for you, so I hope that helps. Okay, going back to the Q&A box here. Kathy McKenna. What is an empath? Great question. To me, when you're an empath, you are feeling the energies of what's around you and those around you. In a sense, to me, an empath is another word for someone who's energetically sensitive, because they pick up on the emotions, the feelings of others, but it's actually they're picking up on the energies around them. I feel like it can be a common misconception that empaths are strictly just feeling the emotions around them. They're actually people they tend to be either psychic or intuitive, and they can hone those gifts more. But if that makes sense, they're actually just people who are energetically sensitive, is what I get. Hope that makes sense. That's my understanding of empath. Mini VDM. Sorry, I'm just going through Q&A. I'm not trying to just stare at you guys. Mini VDM. Somebody asked, feeling off. Anything I can do? Any messages? The first thing they're saying is like self-care. I would almost border on pampering yourself is one thing they're saying. Like don't be afraid to buy yourself a massage, or do whatever you can to get to a better place. This is also not a time to force yourself to do anything. It's a little bit different if you have to get up and go to work. Like, of course, take care of your responsibilities. But if you have this thought like, oh, I should be doing this, oh, I should be doing that, oh, I should do this thing, maybe hold off on that a little bit and instead start asking yourself like, okay, instead of what I think I should be doing, what do I need right now? And from there, as you start to feel a bit better, like, how can I tackle this in a way that feels right to me, if that makes sense? Or what do I actually need to be doing? That's one thing they're talking about. It's feeling off. It won't last. It's just, it's definitely temporary. They're also talking about making sure you surround yourself with people who lift you up, is something they also want to say. I feel like that will help to pull you up out of any like offness, or because they're almost showing like being pulled out of muck. So if you feel like you're stuck, that might help you get unstuck or just feel a little bit less burdened, is one thing they're saying. Anything else? Anything you can do to kind of clear your energy fields in addition might help, whether it's saging or incense, whatever your jam is. Take a shower and ask that the shower clears away any energies not for your highest good. Ask the angels to bless the shower water. Because you can, program water that you drink, like you bless the water. And there's the whole thing. What's his name? Miyamoto. I hope I'm not screwing up his name. But there's a whole water studies of like blessing waters with intention, and then like it changes the frequency of the water and you freeze it and it looks a certain way. But you can do that with your shower water as well. Because you're kind of, quick side note, you're unlimited, you're infinite, source is infinite. So you could always have source bless all the water that's going to be in that shower ahead of time and be like, okay, angels, source, please program that water with all the energies that would be highest and best for me for the shower. I ask that these waters are healing, cleansing, and totally for my highest good. Thanks so much, universe, source, for doing that. And then your shower is pretty much a healing shower. So that's something I do. I'll ask like Archangel Raphael to bless the shower waters. If you're familiar with Reiki, sometimes there's a million bajillion ways you could do this with Reiki. There's no limits. But one thing I'll do is I'll just draw a Reiki symbol on the shower head where the water comes out and just ask the water is Reiki charged pretty much. So weird, quick self-care tip for anyone who's listening that might want to use that if you don't already do that. Anything else that would help you not feel off? In a weird way, it's almost like you're hatching because they're showing you in like this egg, and they're saying like you're hatching. I feel like there's a new you coming in. You just don't see it yet, and it can be a little disconcerting when like things rearrange and you're like, I feel off. So that's part of it. I feel like there's like 3 different things that are leading to it. So I'd say self-care, realize you're hatching. 2, I would clear your vibes. I would try those things and go from there. I don't know if you do yoga, but they're showing me yoga. Maybe that'll help as well. What is the Reiki symbol, Brandon? So pretty much any Reiki symbol I'll use, because you can pretty much use any of them. I'll typically tend towards the Reiki master symbol because you can just... because it has all the energies of the other symbols. You can use it for any intention. So when I work with Reiki, why not just use the Reiki master symbol? That's my approach, but when I work with the symbols. Quick Reiki tip for anyone who's not familiar with Reiki. Dun, 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 dun. Getting tipsy nails. Advice. I feel like I'm on the brink of a breakthrough. You definitely are. Based on what I get. Any advice? Honestly, getting tipsy nails, I feel like you're right on track. Just keep going. And that doesn't mean stop. It means like, whatever you've been doing, keep doing it. It's pretty much what they're saying. And of course, you probably already know what adjustments to make is something they're saying if you or you're already self-adjusting as you need to. I don't feel like I have a whole lot in addition to what you're going through. So is there anything else you want me to say to her? Bottom of the deck. Yeah, I get the word initiation, which is pretty much what you're going through. It's kind of like this internal like level up. But I feel like you're gonna have multiple breakthroughs actually. And there's this visual of this is weird. I'm getting this message like you're filling up to move forward. So definitely keep filling your cup is something they're also saying. But I feel like a lot of what you're going through is very divinely guided. So I hope that helps get into, there's more. What else? What more for getting tipsy nails? One thing they're saying is once you have this breakthrough, I would also be gentle on yourself. And that doesn't mean it's a bad breakthrough, but that's just a weird message that I'm getting. For some reason, I feel like it might be intense. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I feel like there's a like internal revelation coming in as well. Also, everything was very looked after, getting tipsy nails. I would not worry. Guardian angel popping out there. So that's what I get for you. I hope that helps. It's pretty much like I don't want to... What they were kind of saying was like, they don't want me to give too much because for some reason on that one, because you're already on the right track. It is kind of it. I would just let yourself blossom, pretty much. Next person. Sorry, I'm just... Next, okay, I'm just going through here. What's her name? Caitlin, is now the time to look for a new job? Yeah, I would get started. I would not delay on looking for a new job. I don't know if it'll show up right away, but I would say persistence is going to pay off in that situation. I think that'll be the key that unlocks the door. Just don't feel stuck where you are. And you'll get the right place too. There's definitely better ahead. And I also wouldn't be surprised if you switch jobs a few times in the next few years, is one thing they're saying. So you're kind of constantly evolving, because you're gonna kind of constantly want new things, and that's not a bad thing. I would let that happen, because like each step or each stepping stone that each job might be is leading you to something more aligned, is what they're saying. So that's what I get for you. What's her name? What's this? Oh. Why am I getting notifications? 1 second. Okay, never mind. TikTok Live was giving me notifications, so it's just like, what happened? What happened? Tiny Heathen, happy birthday, by the way. Tiny Heathen is 26 today. Anything exciting coming in? For you, I actually get breakthrough as well, but it's more like a breath of fresh air. I think this next year is bringing you a lot of new, is what I'd say. I also get this visual of you leaving the past behind. I also get new adventure coming in. So if that might be a relationship if you're single. But I feel like there's like a lot of new adventures coming in, or a new adventure coming in. They're also giving this message of don't stay stuck. I feel like you kind of know what to expect with a lot of where you are at, with a lot of things. I feel like now is a good time to start to implement change as well for you, Tiny Heathen, wherever you want to see it. What else for this upcoming year? I feel like it's a blessed year. I don't necessarily get that it will be perfect. But I feel like it will be really good, honestly, despite everything going on in the world. Know also that you are taken care of at this time. And the universe does want to gift you a lot. So you might even feel like you get like a gift from the universe every month, is something they're saying as well. So so a lot of blessings rolling in. They're showing me like that dove with the twig in its mouth. I forget what it's called, but it's typically like a symbol of peace and grace. I just feel like there's also a lot of upshifting this year. Weird message for you as well for this upcoming year. I would do your best to, yes, feel your emotions. I'm not saying suppress your emotions, but they're saying like, try not to like act out. Let me find the best way for me to present this information, because I don't want to lead you in a weird way here. What's the best way to say this? Try not to act out based on your emotions too much right away. I would give yourself a second to process your emotions before you like let it rip, if that makes sense. Just in some of the circumstances you encounter as well, is something they're saying. I also see I feel like this year will also bring a lot of abundance as well. So that's what I get. So I hope, anything else? Okay, deck. Yeah, we talked about grace, right? Our Lady of Radiant Grace. I feel like you're going to feel very taken care of by the divine. I just feel like there's also going to be a lot of things that give you hope. And I feel like in a lot of ways, it's like your future unfolds before your very eyes. And sometimes you want something to happen, and you think it's going to happen, but you're also like kind of skeptical it's going to happen, or you think it won't happen, but then it does happen and you're like, oh my God, it's actually happening. I feel like that might be happening too this upcoming year, in some ways, like with manifestations or certain like dreams that you've been wanting to come true. They're also wanting to give this message really quickly. Keep showing up and you'll get wherever you want to go. But I hope that helps, Tiny Heathen 95. Hope that helps you out there. Okay. Next question. Let's see. Happy Sunday, by the way, everybody. For anyone new, best way to get a question is definitely through the Q&A box, because chat scrolls by really quickly and I don't always get a chance to see the questions. So do your best to not spam over and over and over and over again. It does kind of make it difficult, but if you ask a question in the Q&A box and wait a bit and then ask it again, I feel like that will be fine. It is pretty much what I'm getting. So I'm just going through the Q&A box for the next question, and Abraxas769 asked, anything from the source from me? Weird. Okay, so this card's popping out first, Archangel Muriel, and he popped out earlier. There's two cards here. Act with wisdom, use information for the highest good. And then we have Archangel Muriel, trust your own wisdom, have faith in your psychic impressions, kind of sensing a theme with the wisdom thing. I would try not to do anything that just seems dumb to you. I feel like you're already good at that though. So let's see. I'm getting this word, like they're pointing my eyes to the moon on this card, and they're giving me the word promise. So what is the promise about? If you ever feel like the universe made a promise to you, Abraxas, I feel like through any like readers or just through anything out there, I feel like the universe is going to keep that promise. They're also saying this weird message of don't always rely on humans to keep promises. This isn't the case for everyone, but sometimes people promise things they can't keep. So try to be forgiving and lenient if someone promises something and then they're like, no, is something they're also saying. But the universe does hold up its promises. That's pretty much one thing they're saying. You're another one, because they're showing me the smoke. They're pointing my eyes to the smoke on this card. You're another one, I'd say, like, definitely maybe take stock and do a quick cleanse of your home and your energy fields, if that resonates for you to make sense. There's also this message, like they're pointing my eyes to the rose petals, and they gave me the image of pretty much the message they were giving me, because there was a whole series of images they gave me to give me this message, was I would not wait around for life to just like improve. I feel like a lot of the times it does tend to anyways, but one of the messages they're giving me is like I would definitely take action. I wouldn't wait around for any people, like romantically, if that's something that's going on, or just like I wouldn't wait around on any promises. I would really like start cultivating your life now, is something they're saying as well. They keep giving me back to this promise thing. So what is the promise about? Can I have more information, please? They also want to say try not to make promises you can't keep as well. But I'm not trying to call you out. That's just a reminder if you need that. Archangel Metatron, increase your light levels, open your stellar gateway chakra. Weird message. If you've been jonesing to become spiritual, one of the messages they're giving me is like I would become as spiritual as you can. They're recommending you become as spiritual as you can be. I feel like you're cut out for a lot of that work, like spiritual work, even work like potentially doing readings, if that's something you're interested in. If not, don't worry about it. But that's something they're saying, so that might be in the future. But I also feel like you're being elevated at this time. So if you feel like woozy or weird, sometimes it's just like energetically you're elevating. It's not always a bad thing. Anything else for Abraxas? I feel like that's it. I feel like there's more, but I feel like that's it. They're also giving you this message of own your value. So make sure in your life you do your best to recognize your value. And it's like your value is, of course, infinite. Everyone's value is infinite. Like if you had, there's like a meme that went around, and they're kind of giving me the reminder of it, where it's like, if someone offered you $5 million, but you'd be dead tomorrow, would you take it? And no one would take it. It's pretty much it, because it's like you can't really put a value. Like it doesn't matter if you have $1 trillion if you're dead. So like it just doesn't matter. So one thing they're talking about with own your value is like, one, yes, realize your value is infinite, but keeping that in mind, like in life, like in work situations and relationships, in any businesses, if you do business, definitely make sure you're owning your value and not like undermining what you're worth, is pretty much what they're saying. Like don't sell yourself short is another thing. So anywhere in life that resonates, make sure you realize you're more valuable than you think, probably. And I know there's a lot of belief shifting that can happen to get yourself to that point. But besides that, I would start walking yourself into owning your value more. Something they're saying. That's it. It's funny because a Brexis, there's this one. The name is reminding me of a quick story, but when I lived in Colorado, there was this, it was almost like a tabletop gaming, like, it was so weird, like a electronic hookah lounge called Lair of Abraxas, and it was very much like Dungeons and Dragons, like, I don't know if you'd call it nerdy, but that username reminds me of that, so it was a funny reminder for me of that memory. Good morning, Esme Salazar. How are you doing? Heather's well. I felt so crushed at work. Anything from Spirit on this? I would try to change it up. I would try to go a new direction. Heather's well. I do feel like resilience is key. I feel like you'll definitely make it through. I feel like this is teaching you some things as well. A lot about what you need, actually, as part of the lesson. It might be time to find a new job, though. Heather's well is one thing they're saying, if you can. When it feels right to you soon. Next question. Happy birthday. Thank you, Rana Faith. I appreciate it. I hope you have a beautiful day too. My birthday was September 1st, by the way. It's not today. Good morning, coffee guy. Deja, should I go to my job right now and help out? Would it be nice? Good for you to do that. I know you hate your job, Deja. For some reason, I feel like it's actually a good idea. I don't know why. Maybe the extra money will help you out. But you do what you got to do. You don't have to, I don't think. It sounds like you got called in, if anything. Destiny Dara, how are you? Did you have a good birthday? I did. It was very low-key. Mostly because I didn't plan anything, but I know there's more birthday things coming that I have planned, so, but it was good. Can't complain. My grandma's birthday is September 1st. Dang, that's awesome. I've met more people whose birthday are September 1st since I mentioned it on this app than ever before. I think I've only met one other person ever whose birthday was September 1st when I was like 12. Okay. Oh, thanks, Destiny. I hope you're doing well too. How are you doing? Okay. Your fave, Ginger. Are me and David meant to be together? So here's the way they want me to present this. Like, it can happen. It's not like a soul destined forever and ever relationship. But it doesn't mean you won't be together. Does that make sense? I feel like there's still a lot that can play out. So what is the main message? Are they going to be together? I feel like, here's the message. I feel like you can be together. I don't feel like it's like destined to be together, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. Does that make sense? Definitely an aligned partner, at least for a while. I do feel like there will be people that are better for you in the future, your fave Ginger. And I'm not trying to be like, definitely not trying to ruin anyone's romantic life ever. I just, as far as what I'm getting, I feel like overall, because they're saying I'm getting like it's a good option, but they're also giving me some of like the warning signs as well. I feel like there's a lot that's yet to be determined, but I would go for it and let life show you exactly if that's the case. But you're definitely meant to interact and rub up against each other and learn from one another is what I'd say through the interactions. But it's not like this like huge destined thing is what I'd say. I hope that makes sense, your fave Ginger. Oh, did I miss something? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Destiny. I'm sorry to hear she ended up passing away. Crafter Teacher 116. No, for sure. Hi, Brandon. Advice on my soul's purpose, please. So some of the things they're showing me off the bat, I think there's a couple different angles they're going to be hitting this from. So bear with me for a second here, a Crafty Teacher. One thing they're showing me is that you're anchoring on a lot of new frequencies, because I see you meditating, and then I see roots kind of going into the earth, and I see a lot of like new energies, pretty much from source, just like it's things your soul brings in, and it's not like you're losing anything by doing this, but it's like a arcana of these new energies to kind of be grounded in to the earth. So I feel like you elevate people is one thing they're talking about. They also want to give the message you're meant for more than you've been through, Crafty Teacher. So what does that mean? I feel like there's more to your life purpose than what you've been through so far, Crafty Teacher. Weird message. I feel like in some ways you kind of punch a hole in falsity, because they're showing you like this visual I get as you like going around and like punching holes through like these, it's like theories that people have. I don't know how to describe the visual perfectly, but it's like because like sometimes the visuals, if I drew it artistically, it would make sense, but it's almost like people have these like paper plates and then, or like these like, you know, like drywall. I'm not saying you punch holes in walls, I hope you don't, but you don't. but like it's like they're showing me people going around and like you punch through this like drywall that they're holding. So it's like I think you just kind of like unveil truth to people, and plant seeds for people to be better is also something that you do. I feel like that's natural. That's also something that's part of your purpose. And like there's multiple things to our purpose. I think sometimes like as far as like what we're doing in this moment, our purpose can evolve over our lifetime. But that being said, I feel like there are certain energetic themes that show up as your purpose like throughout your whole life, no matter what you do, if that makes sense. Like perhaps you're someone who's really compassionate. You can bring that compassion into customer service. You can bring that compassion into being a therapist. You can bring that compassion into you could be a metal worker, and you bring your compassion to the people around you on the job and begin to bring this healing to others through that, to people who might not otherwise have met someone who would have brought that to them. All that to say, they're also saying you have potent magic, Crafty Teacher, just through intention. If you wanted to do energy work, I feel like that would be something that was that would be something you can do. Because they're saying healer as well, but I feel like it's indirect. I think it's through like it's through your presence. It's through things you say. It's through how you work with others, if that makes sense. It's not necessarily like being a surgeon is what they'd say. That's a lot of what I get for purpose. But as far as specific for you, advice on your soul's purpose. So what advice, because I danced on like what your purpose was, but I didn't dance with what is the advice on your soul's purpose. So let me see. Advice on your soul's purpose. I would say, and this is a bit of a common theme, but the more you're shedding the old, I would say the better. Because I feel like your soul's purpose comes out naturally, the less you're bogged down by certain human things, certain old beliefs is one thing they're talking about. I feel like a lot of your soul's purpose comes out through who you are. And as long as you're following that little voice, like your intuition, your gut feelings, what you feel would be best for you to do next, however your intuition or your channeled guidance or whatever, however you operate shows up for you, I feel like you're going to be naturally carrying your soul's purpose out, because it's very tandem. It's like, what do you need for you to grow and evolve, and to grow and evolve the frequencies on Earth? But it's also like, what are you here to do for others? So it is a bit of a tango between like what you need and what you're here to do for the Earth and for others, if that makes sense. But it's very multifaceted. There's no like one thing that's gonna like have you living out your soul's purpose. But this seems to be common advice right now. But right now I would go within. I'd do self-development. I'd shed anything that's not you, that maybe society thrust upon you. And I'd be prepared to have a lot of conversations with people where you're showing them the truth, or planting seeds for the truth to come through, is something they're saying. So I feel like that's something that you'll be doing. Hope that makes sense. And the more you're being a light for others, the better as well. But I hope that helps at all, based on what I'm getting. Texas Jess, I feel like I needed to hear this. Awesome. Yeah, and sometimes I will always try to do the best specific thing I can for each question, but sometimes the advice is for more than one person. The way it comes through can be a bit more like, hey, everybody. So keep that in mind as well. Tyranna Jones. I'm sorry, Tyranna. Gosh. I don't know why my eyes put in R and created, like, I don't know. Maybe you're a bus. Tyrannosaurus Rex Jones. Sorry, that's probably not. I mean it in the best way possible when I play with those things, guys. I mean it in the best sense, not in like any type of degrading way ever. What does the universe say about my love life? I feel like right now your internal healing should take precedence, is one thing I'm getting for you. I feel like you're going to get to a time where love is just like showing up on your doorstep for the most part, where it's just like you have to beat them away with a stick, Tana. But what else is the universe saying about your love life? I feel like the more healed you are, the more you attract the person you want to be with, is something they're saying. And once you feel you're ready, definitely put yourself out there, get on the dating apps, or whatever you do to get out there, go to where you meet people. That's one thing they're talking about as well. Any other advice for you? I feel like you're going to naturally be attracting people you're meant to be with, if you stay the course, especially if you do any like inner healing work you need to do. If you need to go see a therapist, do whatever you got to do, whatever that looks like for you. For some people, that's getting readings that are therapeutic. For some people, that's therapy. For some people, that's seeing the Reiki practitioners or healers. For some people, it's a combination of all those things. But there's no wrong way as long as it's working. That's pretty much what I'd say. That's what I got for you, Diana Jones. I hope that helps. Do you think my 3-year-old can feel spirits? Yes. Definitely angels, I feel. Very sensitive though. Definitely a kid that's bringing in the future, I feel, like spiritually. One thing I am hearing, hope that makes sense. I I feel like she's very perceptive as well, Destiny. Even on like a human level, I think she kind of has a very good awareness of what's going on energetically. She might not always have the words, but that's just one thing that they're saying really quickly. I don't know who wants to go live with me, but I don't know you. Probably not going to do it. One thing I've been wondering about, because you can go live with multiple people. I've been playing with it. Like, would it be cool if, like, maybe some people, I don't know how I would do this, but I just go live with some of you and answer some questions that way. I don't know if that would just take away from the experience or add to it. Or I don't know if there's anyone you'd want me to go live with. I don't know. I've just been playing with it, but so far this has been working, I feel. But that might add another element that's fun, but I don't know if you guys want that. By the way, guys, it's pretty much just not possible for me to do these questions in order. The Q&A is definitely the best way to probably get your questions seen. I'd pretty much do this as I'm guided to, so I might not get to every question, and literally if you watch me answer these questions and see how many pop up while I'm answering one or two questions, you'll realize I can't get to every question. So keep that in mind. I'll do my best to get to everyone, and I'll probably do a few general reading things as well for everyone here at a certain point as well, so keep that in mind. Done L141. Done L41 asks, does Spirit have a thank you, Marina. I appreciate it. Does Spirit have a message for me today? They're giving a message of cultivating your awareness. So I'm not saying you're not someone who, I'm not saying you lack awareness. I am saying it's time to expand your awareness more, is what I'd say. And you can do that through meditation. Like, some great ways I've found to expand awareness are, of course, meditation, because it's pretty much you are just becoming aware of your awareness, but you're pretty much just using your awareness. You're watching your thoughts. You're becoming aware of your body. Like, how are you feeling? But then, like, on top of that, like, even things like Reiki or energy work expand awareness, because then you're becoming aware of energy. How does it feel to work with energy? What do the energies around me feel like? And it becomes very easy, if that makes sense. And other things would be like intuition and channeling. Those are other forms of that expand your awareness and make you more intuitive. So really, like, any way you can think that would resonate for you to expand your awareness, 100% recommended. Meditation, yoga, anywhere you're just like working with your awareness and kind of stepping back from everyday life. Definitely, you might already do that, but it's just time to grow it. And this is definitely a card of growing. Thanks for the roses, Raquel. I appreciate that. So Archangel Perliamic, let nature soothe you, serve the nature kingdom. In a weird way, I almost get this message of getting away from society for a time. Not forever. Like, I wouldn't like be a recluse in a cave for months and months and months. But if you want to take a weekend vacation or something like that, however it applies to your situation, to kind of be by the ocean or out in nature, that might be something you do. Also know that you're worth and worthy of taking time off. Done L41 is what they're saying. I think another quick message: the whole earth is backing you up. Sometimes people forget that you have the whole universe on your side. You have all of nature that you're working with. And funny enough is one thing that really hit me strongly, and I don't know why I want to say this, is like humanity isn't really separate from nature. I think sometimes like we have our buildings and we have our books and we have our schools and we have our systems and we have all this stuff that's kind of made up, honestly, kind of inventions of humanity that humans just agreed were how, maybe not agreed that was how things worked, but it's just like kind of the glue that allows things to function as they do, which of course is transforming pretty quickly. The glue's not really sticking anymore, if you haven't noticed. all for that is good. I feel like it's going to transition into something better. It's more of an evolution than like a collapse. More of a transition. All that being said, it really struck me one time when I went into a Barnes and Noble and there was a book on animals, and I looked at this book and then I realized like we're not separate from like the animals, from this earth, from the nature. It's like it appears separate because we're walking into the store to buy a book on animals that are somewhere far away. But it's like we're actually a part of that nature. We just built buildings and books and all these things to kind of almost pretend that we're not, or it can be very easy to fall into the illusion that we're not separate from it. So I would also like just realizing your oneness with the world and nature and the universe, and how you're a part of that tapestry. You're one with all of it. For some reason, I feel like that might help as well. For some reason, because I think once you realize you have all of nature and the universe on your side, you kind of realize you're not separate from it, and it's all working in your favor, or you can get in the flow so that it is working in your favor. I don't know if that helps as advice, but for some reason I wanted to go there. Anything else for you? Our Lady of Starting Over. So they told me to pull, so they said the second from the bottom of the card in the deck. This was the card on the bottom, which I already pulled, but then this was the second card on the bottom of the deck. Our Lady of Starting Over. So what is this for you? I feel like one of the things they're saying is like, if something doesn't pan out, I would start over. I wouldn't cling to the thing that's not working or not panning out. Because you might feel like you're just getting dragged through the mud at that point. Not literally, of course. I would hope that never happens literally. But just make sure you're letting go of what's not working is one thing they're saying. I hope that helps. Thanks, Deja. I hope you have a better day. Next question. Agustina Vesta asks, should I start practicing Reiki? I say yes. I feel like it's a gateway to other more modalities and more of what you want to do, honestly. I don't feel like it's the end-all be-all for you, but the answer is yes. I would 100% start practicing Reiki. I feel like what I want to say is to anyone who wants to do it, I would do it. I feel like yes, it's one way to start doing your self-work and to start doing self-healing. It's a tool you always have for your life once you take those classes and get the Reiki attunements. 3, I just feel like there's no downside to more people having infinitely intelligent, infinitely wise universal life force energy flowing through them, because it can be healing and it just brings more of that energy to the world. Never a bad thing. But so that's pretty much my spiel on that really quickly. Next question. Miss Red, how are you doing? Give me 1 second to drink my tea thing here. Okay. Oh, someone gave me a water reminder like 30 minutes ago and I forgot to drink water, so. Miss Red, I feel like you're hitting a new level. That's something they're saying. You might not feel like it, but I feel like that's something that's happened. I feel like it's energetic. Here's where you're headed, 10 of Cups, which is fulfillment, happiness, joy. 10 of Cups is pretty much like happy life, celebrating. So very good card. I feel like that's what's coming in. I feel like this is where you are. It, again, is 9 of Swords popping out here. So if you feel anxious or worried, it's okay if you are, but I would try to walk out of that energy if you can, or just stay up on things, like stay on things and stay on your responsibilities, but try not to let the world swallow you. I would also take a break from the news or any media that's just kind of disheartening, or that paints a picture that is, one, just always pointing to kind of the lower things happening on the earth, and 2, that paints a picture that might not necessarily be the full truth. Keep that in mind. That's especially like news, media that's disheartening. there's no reason. I think sometimes it can be good to be informed, but there's definitely a balance between like getting sucked into it and being like, okay, that's happening. But what's the truth, universe? What's actually going on? So I get the word communication with the Eight of Wands popping out here as well. Just from important people in your life. But what's the Eight of Wands about here? I feel like you're also going to be moving forward in life. This is a card of action and forward movement with the Eight of Wands. I feel like you might hear from people you haven't heard from in a while coming up here. And, you know, Mercury in retrograde is coming this month, so doesn't surprise me. Anything else? So you're getting a lot of good cards, like Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, very good 10 cards. Ten of Pentacles popping out here, which again is kind of like fulfillment. It's also a really good card for, this is more abundance actually. I was gonna say it's a good card for love, but they're saying this wasn't love, this is abundance. So I'd say like abundance is coming in for you. Also stability is something that the Ten of Pentacles signifies. They're also saying don't discount your growth. Like you're definitely growing. Because this, for some reason, this can also symbolize the Tree of Life, the Ten of Pentacles. So what else? So I hope that all makes sense for your thing, for your situation. One, I would be discerning with the Queen of Swords popping out here. Two, if there's anyone who seems like they don't want anything to do with you, they probably will in the future, first thing they're saying. Second, like, pay them no heed. I would just kind of live your life and know you're awesome and worthy anyways. I would also do your best to fly high and just kind of stay above the noise in life, like from other people, again, from like anything like news or anything. Okay, cool. Sorry, I just got a text. Sorry, I need to process that text for 1 second. Okay, I'm good. I hope that helps, Miss Red. Sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, back to the Q&A. Tini Goff, are the birds and hawks a sign? I get yes, specifically hawk for sure. Let's see. I get the words like, it's multifaceted, the message about hawk. I also get the message like learning to see. So I feel like you're learning to see clearly. I feel like that's energetically, that's like with your third eye. But it's also like keep a sharp eye out for the signs and synchronicities around you. I would also pay attention to different types of birds that start to show up, like hawk, cardinal, bluebird. I feel like birds are going to be a sign for you forever, is what they're saying. But the more you get, like, what does this bird mean for me when you see it, the more the signs will start to make sense. So I would look it up. I would get, like, the other thing about signs and synchronicities, which you may have already heard me on this live if you've been following me, but getting your own meaning with the universe honed in, like 444 for me is like angels. Angels are around. So whenever something weird happens, or I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And then I start seeing 444, it's like, okay, angels are helping, it's gonna be okay, reassurance from the universe, all right. But someone else, 444, might be like, stop worrying about the past. And so like the universe is going to show 444 for me when I need that angelic assistance and reassurance, and they're going to show 444 for that person when they need to let go of the past. So like once you have your meaning honed in with the universe about each sign, you kind of have your own language you're developing in a way, and it can definitely line up with other people's meanings. It might not always, because you're unique and you have your own relationship with source, with the universe. So keep that in mind as well. But short answer, yes, the birds and hawks are signs. Melody L. Rainbow asks, anything for me by chance? Thanks for your time. Yeah. Okay, very, very positive card. Archangel Aurora, welcome new beginnings. Let the sun shine in your life. So what's the message? This is where you're headed, Melody L. Rainbow. I feel like you're someone who does a lot of work, potentially for others, is something they're saying. They want to give the reminder, don't forget to focus on yourself as well. But there's a lot of good things coming in for you because of the good you've done for others. What is the key for this card? I would equate this almost like a Sun tarot card. Almost is also like, I feel like it's like happiness. It's happiness that lasts typically. Brighter times, pretty much. So keep that in mind. I feel like you are meant for bigger and better as well, Melody Rainbow. I would not feel stuck where you're at. I feel like there's a bit of a learning curve to get to where you want to go. That's worth going through. But should you go through it, you will get there, is something they're saying. They're also, like, Archangel Faith popping out here. I'm getting this message of try not to doubt yourself in your life. I think it can be easy to get down on yourself if you feel like others don't believe in you. But I feel like there are also plenty of people who believe in you, is something they're saying, or people who know you can do great things. So keep that in mind. Also, divinely guarded and protected, something they're saying. So this card, Guardian Angel, love yourself unconditionally, ask for help. I feel like there are a few people out there. I feel like you can be a nurturer, is something they're saying. That can be a bit of an archetype. And I don't go full bore into archetypes typically, but that's something they're talking about. Because they're pointing my eyes to the kid on this card, and they were talking about childcare, and pretty much just saying you were a nurturer. I would also they're pointing my eyes to this feather on the card, and feathers can definitely be a sign that angels are around or are helping you. One thing they were talking about, the message they gave me when they pointed my eyes to this, was I would pay attention to the breadcrumbs or the signs the universe is leading you to walk you forward on your path. I feel like as long as you're paying attention and kind of going where those breadcrumbs from the universe are leading you, you'll get to a much better place, is something they're saying. They give me the word sunset as well with this card, so let me see what they mean by that. You might find that things are ending, and they're also giving me the image of I didn't pull the card, but they showed me the moon card from tarot, and they're saying and moon card is typically depicted with confusion or not knowing where to go, or not feeling very sure or certain about things. But pretty much one of the things the moon card says is keep going. The other thing they were saying about that is you're kind of coming out of that phase, I feel like, hence Archangel Aurora with the sun, letting the sun shine in your life. But it doesn't mean there aren't other things that are ending, is something they're saying. So I would be also very patient as things shift. You are being led to better. So anything else they want to say? Please hold as much compassion for yourself and others as you can. Archangel Mary, open your heart with compassion and fold others with love. The other thing they're talking about, for me, it's been the case, but what they want to present to you as well, light blue, the color light blue can also be a sign of Mother Mary, Queen of Angels, whatever your name for Mother Mary. So if you see a lot of light blue around and it just jumps out at you and it's very consistent, I would say that's a sign Mother Mary is helping you as well. But they did want to talk about cultivating compassion. I feel like that will take you far, both in self-care and just for helping others. Weird message. Sorry, I'm going to keep going. But Archangel Perliamek, and I got this message of grow the collective. I feel like one of the messages is you're growing. You're also growing people outside of you as well. We're opening the doorway to other people to seeing what being more grown looks like. And of course, I mean self-development grown. So with the work you do, I don't know if this makes sense. I feel like if you're growing yourself, you're opening the doorway for the collective to be more grown as well. Interesting message. And I think I went way over, but that's what I get for you. I hope that helps. Little Moon, 333. I would need an advice from my guides, please. So let's see what comes through for Little Moon. Here's what I get for you, little moon. We have Our Lady of the Rose Child popping out here. They're almost showing me this thing like it's like a crucible. And so with a crucible, it's like something that I believe a crucible is used to harden steel, if that makes sense, or to grow something stronger. I feel like in some ways it's not a bad thing. You're walking through the fire that's causing you to grow into something else. Little moon is something that's building strength. I get this kind of crucible image. So what does that mean? And in a lot of ways, I feel like you as well are being grown by the universe, and it takes time. I feel like this is not a forever period is one thing they're talking about. They're also like showing this visual of like giving birth, but it's not easy, and I feel like that's where you're at, is like birthing things, but it's like not easy. It's definitely a bit of a squeeze. It's definitely uncomfortable. In some ways you might be like, what is going on? But in a lot of ways it's like the rosebud that's beginning to blossom. It's just like the way it's showing up for you is a bit uncomfortable right now. Anything else? They're also showing like it seems like you're on a rocky road. If you feel like you're on a rocky road or things are rocky right now, I feel like the path right ahead, once you get past this rocky part, is actually really smooth. I would also like, if something's not working or it hasn't been working for a long time, I would consider letting it go as well. That might be internal, or something internal that you've been doing. Not anything spiritual, by the way. I think this is more about physical life. Like if something's not working, and this is, I feel like consistently, I would start to look at, okay, what can I replace this with if I let this go that would be more like what I'm looking for? So keep that in mind as well. I'm going to pull a quick tarot. So they wanted me to pull the top card. Of course, top card was 10 of Pentacles. They said this is not out of reach. This is like abundance and stability. This is kind of like happy. 10 of Cups is more happy home, happy life. But what's the message with this one? I feel like there's unexpected outcomes coming as well, is one of the messages I'm getting. And it's weird because I'm getting a lot of abundant cards. So 10 of Pentacles popped out. We had 10 of Wands, which is a lot of burdens. But I also get the message almost there, because this dude on the 10 of Wands is almost to this village. He's almost reached his destination. I feel like you're almost to the point where things shift, going back to that visual I was getting with being on the rocky road and like the road smooths out ahead. But I also see a lot of like 3 of Cups, celebration, the Empress, which is very much abundance, abundance coming in the future. But this is also, I'm getting the message again, own your value with this card. I feel like this is where you want to be. So you might want to ask the universe, what will it take for me to get there, and see what starts showing up. Then we have Ace of Wands, which is like a passionate new beginning. I'd say I get like fiery starts. So I feel like they're giving me this message of go with the new. So if you're torn between old and new, for some reason I would go with the new. This was for Little Moon 333. So that's a lot of what I get here. I feel like this is coming. This new start. This is go with the new kind of message. And it might be something you're passionate about, because usually Ace of Wands is like a passionate new beginning, as something they're talking about. So keep that in mind. I would also stay away from this energy, Little Moon, which is King of Swords, which is like very logical, very rational. And this can be a positive card, but it can also be... but at its... Some of the words I'm getting are like stale, stiff, rigid, unmoving, argumentative, but it's almost to the point where it's not rational, if that makes sense. It's like logical to the point of not being rational. Funny message. I would try to stay away from people like this, who are just kind of willing to cut you down no matter what, is something they're saying. keep that in mind. I hope that helps. Not always a negative card, but in this instance, they want you to stay away from people who are too rational. They won't really budge on any of their ideas. They won't hear you out. They just kind of point the sword and blame you. Stay away from that. Something I'm hearing. Hope that makes sense. Little Moon. Hope that helps. But I just feel like there's a new start coming. I would definitely trust it. I don't feel like you'll be in any tough phases forever. Again, I do see like walking away from something that's not working. 8 of Cups. So, but behind that was the 8 of Wands, which is like, that can be a card of quick success or moving towards it quickly. Okay. Next. Baby J, are yellow butterflies a symbol? Big time. I would say yes. If it's showing up for you a lot, I would pay attention to it. What would that mean for you? One of the things, it's going to be multifaceted. One of the things butterflies can symbolize are evolution. They can also be magical, or a thing of magic, as they're saying. Not usually what I get with butterfly, but I would take it as it resonates for you. But butterflies, because you go from a caterpillar and then you morph into a butterfly. So it's a symbol of evolution, also growth, and being something more beautiful than ever before is something I'm getting. But yes, it is a symbol, was the short answer. It can represent so many different things. You might want to study that meaning just to see what it means to you. Deja, am I overthinking? I think Deja left. I don't know if she wants to replay, but am I overthinking regarding Tristan and my stepdad? Yeah, overall. Sort of yes, sort of no is what I'm getting. And I don't think you're here, so I don't want to take too much time on it. So, I mean, there will be a replay on YouTube, so I'll answer it really quickly just in case she wants to watch that. I feel like it's actually better than you think, that situation is a really short answer. So next question. Mo 3009. Will my business do well? Here's what I get. I feel like it could be a long ramp up period, but it can do well. I do feel like there are going to be a lot of adjustments, but it's worthwhile making those. So let's see. I really feel like you can make it successful though. But I think you're going to have to play the long ball with it is one thing I'd say. What else is coming through? This also might be the business that leads you to the future business that's successful. Keep that in mind as well. But I would also not quit on this one yet, because I think you're going to get a lot of good things from it, is what I'm saying. What I'm hearing. It is what I'm saying, but it's what I'm hearing to say. So that makes sense. Next question. Little snap crackle. Any guidance for the next 6 months? You're welcome, Mo. I get the words internal evolution for you regarding the next 6 months. 6 months, excuse me. Let's see, what else? I also get a lot of expansion. I feel like there might have been a lot of contraction for you. And what do I mean by that? If you feel like sometimes when you go, this is something that can show up. I'm not going to eliminate you and say it has to be the way, but sometimes before a phase of expansion, you'll kind of contract and there will be like anxiety or fear or like, ooh, and it's almost like, there's one spiritual teacher, Lee Harris, who talks about it. And like one example he gives to give an example that might fit. There's a couple ways where do my guides want me to go with it? They want me to go bigger picture. So for instance, like sometimes before, not always, sometimes before really amazing things manifest for someone in their life, there's going to be a contraction phase where like maybe there's depression, maybe there's anxiety, maybe there's like, oh, this stinks. And you're kind of watching a lot of things shift and you're like, what did I do wrong? Like, you didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but that can be the contraction before the expansion. We're like, oh, this is amazing, this really cool thing that I've been wanting for a long time manifests. I don't feel like that's exactly what you're going through, but I feel like you're going into an expansion phase where you're like out of this and more into this, okay, starting to expand. But I feel like this is more long ball once again. I feel like this is more like of a long-term expansion in your life is something that they're talking about. I would also try not to get confused by people, like people who say different things, people who want you to do this thing when you want to do that thing. I would try to, like, what's the message? Get clear on yourself and what you need and what you're all about. And that way, like, if someone says something, you can look at it. You don't necessarily have to buy it right away. But if someone gives you this advice, you can look at it, you can sit with it. And instead of like jumping on it, you can be like, okay, that's some interesting advice. Is that really what I'm feeling, and what feels true for me is the best way to approach this situation, and go from there. I feel like you already know a lot of where you want to go. Little snap crackle. I think right now is also like the next 6 months, a good time to start walking yourself towards there. I think you'll be surprised how much progress you can make if you take action on something every day. For instance, like writing a book. Even if you just show up once a week to write a book, you'd be surprised like how far you get after like 8 weeks in your book, because you just have that time dedicated. So walking yourself into practices that get you where you want to go consistently, also a good idea. What else? I would also be smart about your trajectory is one thing they're saying in the next 6 months. Make sure you're putting your efforts towards things you actually want to put efforts to, if that makes sense. So I would try not to waste time, and I'm not saying freak out if you took a nap one afternoon. It's more like, is what you're doing leading you to where you want to go? And asking yourself that consistently, I think, could lead to a better 6 months ahead. That's what I get. Hope that helps. Cal's Phillips, are you able to tell if I'm clairvoyant or an energy healer? I feel like I am. I feel like you definitely have a clairvoyance. I feel like that's a gift you're uncovering more as well. Like, you can go deeper into it. You have other gifts as well, definitely clairsentience. You can definitely feel energies. I feel like you definitely have like the abilities to do energy healing. I would definitely like learn a modality or two just to go further into it. And just to kind of hone those gifts and practice a bit more as well. It's a recommendation. You don't have to, of course. And I feel like there's more that's yet to be uncovered, but the more you go down your journey, Kels Phillips, the more you'll realize what those are, and it'll start showing up for you. I feel like you're very intuitive as well. Thanks for the fire, Little Moon. I appreciate it. All right, next question. Chrissy Vincent, love life. Will anything happen soon? I do see it heating up. I do feel like something will happen soon. Maybe not as much as you had hoped for, but I'm gonna pull like some tarot cards here. I'm gonna shuffle. I don't want to do past, present, future. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. Okay, this definitely. So really quick past, present, future reading. We have Queen of Pentacles in the past. I actually see this as nurturing your love life. Not at all what the Queen of Pentacles typically represents, but that's what I hear for the gist of this reading. I also get the word waiting. We have a Ten of Cups now, interestingly, which is definitely like a card of fulfillment, of happiness, of joy. Typically, I would see this would be like a card you'd want as the outcome, and I feel like because you're asking for something to happen soon, I'd say like I feel like something is going to happen, because in your future position, you have the Knight of Wands, definitely like a passionate offer, someone rushing in. So No. I feel like that's the thing, like heating up. Just make sure it's someone and something you want, is something they're saying. With the Ten of Cups now, what's the message? I feel like you have been focusing on filling your cups in a way, and that's going to lead to a better outcome because they're showing each of these cups being filled in succession. I feel like you're headed in the right direction in love. We also have King of Swords. So what at like the bottom at the baseline, and I'm going to pull an angel card as well. So Guardian Angel popping out again. I'd say you're divinely protected in love. The universe isn't going to let you be with like the worst person. I feel like in some ways you're divinely guided in love, Chrissy Vincent. But with the King of Swords popping out, what is the message? A weird message, but I would try to make sure you're not overstepping bounds. What does that even mean? I would try not to go too far, too fast is pretty much the message. I would let things develop, of course. We have Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which is very much like a soulmate kind of card. They just told me to pick up the bottom of the deck here. So I feel like this is what's coming. I would actually hold out for something that's more like passionate, that's more like soulmate connection, and I would also like manifest that as well. But this is what's coming, is what I want to say, is more of like a soulmate connection. I'd say near-ish future. You might have some things happen soon, but I'd say like maybe a couple months out, and let that be flexible. Don't get super attached to something happening at a certain time, and then you're like, where is it? But it is coming. Know that is what I get. It's a little bit more, oh my gosh. They really want to like recommend like letting love unfold. I would try not to jump in. I would more like, I'd be the person who, instead of diving into the pool at the 5-foot end, I would walk down the stairs into the pool. If that makes any sense. But like walking yourself into love instead of diving in might just lead to a bit of a longer lasting thing. Hope that helps. But more love coming. Mary Alexis, is this winter going to be... Oh, thanks for the corollary. That's beautiful. Mary E. Alexis asked, is this winter going to be extra intense? I don't feel like it is particularly. Maybe more intense, but not extra intense, if that makes sense. I'd say like mid-range intensity is something I'm getting. So that's what I hear. Cinnamon puns. Will I ever receive the intimacy I'm craving? Yes. I would ask yourself, why haven't you in the past received that? And I don't feel like it's totally your fault necessarily. I would also not play the blame game at the same time, but I would also ask yourself, like, why haven't I received that in the past? And what will it take for me to get to a place where I'm receptive to that and that it comes in for me? Because I think in some ways it's doing some of the work to allow the intimacy in is part of the message they're talking about. So let's see. So any self-healing you feel like you need to do, anything like that. I would also really like, what does that feel like? And there's a couple different tools I want to present to you, but putting yourself in that energy of intimacy on the regular. And there's a tip you can, one, like there's visualizing yourself, like what does that intimacy I want feel like? And like every day I would sit with like, what does that intimacy feel like? And put yourself in that energy. If you're energetically sensitive, one thing you can do is like, okay, what does the energy I'm craving actually feel like? Thank you, Source, for showing me. And so you instantly bring about that, because you can get any energy from Source at any time, any location. So you bring about that energy of that intimacy, and then you're sitting in the energy of that intimacy and how it feels. So you get a really good feeling of it. And then you're, interestingly enough, in that feeling of energy of intimacy. But I feel like that's a good way to start drawing it towards you and to start like naturally healing anything in the way of it showing up for you. I don't think there's a ton of that, by the way. That's just one thing they're talking about. They're also talking about letting the past go. Archangel Lavender, prepare for soul healing, forgive and release anyone. And they said, let the past go when I pulled this card out. So that's something you might also have to do, is like forgive those who did not give you that intimacy in the past. So I hope that helps and makes sense for you. Cinnamon puns. Great username. Short answer, yes. Oh, thanks for the hand hearts. Live, laugh, love. Next question. Brandon, when will you upload this to YouTube, please? I've been a bit slow in uploading these, so I apologize. But in the next week, I'm supposed to... Yeah, I'm traveling to Texas this next week here. So if anyone has any fun suggestions, let me know. But I'll try to upload it there at a certain point, is one thing I'm getting. So hope that makes sense for you. That's Nick's Tony. Oh, whoa, that's a new one. Speedboat. Sweet. That was fun. Thanks, Lori. We're in Texas. Around the Austin area is where I'm going. San Antonio, very cool. Water, thanks, Lori. Yep. There's so many people in Texas. I love it. Star fumes. What? I'm in Texas. Yeah. Thanks, Little Moon. I will do my best. Okay, Ness, Nick's Tony asked, am I going to be okay? Yes, overall. I feel like there might be a period of feeling like you're not okay, but you are okay is one thing, and that's not to discredit your feelings. But anything else for you? I feel like there are good outcomes coming for you, Ness, Nick's Tony. And it might not seem like it. It's just like there's a little bit of a waiting game to get there. I'm going to pull a card. Here's a weird message. I also feel like this might not apply directly to what you're asking about. I feel like the more that you are you, the better things will be. Archangel Muriel, enter higher planetary service, be a blazing light. Let's see. They're not giving me a ton more information. They're saying short. This card jumping out again. My gosh, I'm going to shuffle this deck again. I do feel like things will get better. I just think it's going to be a bit of a waiting game to get there. I would also try to make sure you're not shutting people out too much. Next Tony is one thing they're saying. Destiny Adara, what you going to Texas for? So I'm thinking about what would be thinking about moving. There's someone I know in Texas that I'm going to, one, hang out with, and two, I'm just going to check the area out and see, do I want to move there? So that's so pretty much like just visiting Texas and checking it out. Okay. Ooh, next question. Trish Moore, 22. Is this? Ooh, fun. Super excited. Yeah, I'm super excited for it. Yeah, I haven't seen this person in a while, so it'll be cool to see them. And it'll also be fun just to I've been in my apartment for a lot of the time. I've just been in my apartment and doing readings and then getting food. And I'm I should probably do something else. So I think it'll be good just to get, sometimes when you're in it, you kind of take a vacation, you get a broader awareness of your life and where you want to go. So sometimes just getting away from the routine can just help bring more clarity on what's next too. So I'm looking forward to that. So Trish Moore, does the universe have a message for you? This card popping out again, Archangel Lavender, I would let go. Sorry, I got distracted by some of the other chat here, so give me 1 second to recoup. The message for you. And a lot of the messages I'm getting are 1, fly high, 2, go your own way. Don't be held back by other people around you. I feel like that message comes through relatively frequently, but when it comes through, so I'm going to say it. I feel like you also, they're pointing my eyes to this key on this angel's cloak here, and they're saying, you hold the key to your destiny. In some ways, the message is take action. Like some of the visuals they're showing me is like sometimes like your destiny or what you want to do is right in front of you, and you have the key. And the question is, will you take that key and open the door and step through it? And it's kind of like the first place I heard that I think was like Reiki. It's like when you get a Reiki attunement, when you're learning Reiki, you have access to Reiki pretty much for your whole life. You have that boosted connection to source, I want to say. You have just more access to that universal life force energy that Reiki is. And the way they described it was like when you have that attunement, like you have the key to work with Reiki, to get really good with it, to do sessions for others, to start a career with it. But it's like, will you, with that key that you have, put that thing into action and step through the door? I feel like you do that, but just something to keep in mind is like, I feel like you have the key to your destiny. You have the tools, or you can get them. Like, will you use them and move forward towards what's yours? Is something they're saying. And one other thing they're talking about, have faith that what's yours is meant for you, even if it takes you a second to get there. I don't think it'll take forever, but it's just like if you feel like you're taking a while, or you're climbing a mountain and you're like, wait, I'm not there yet. Like, don't worry. Doesn't mean it's not. It doesn't mean it's gonna disappear on you. I would also pay attention to spirit animals with this card popping out. Archangel Muriel, honor animals, communicate with different species. I think a lot of animals as signs, much like birds were a sign for that one individual earlier in the life. I'd say like animals in general are a sign. I would pay attention to the spirit animals, like animals repeating in your life around you consistently, either on social media, on the side of a truck, and then like look those animal meanings up. And I feel like those are the spirit animals that are helping you. They're also pointing my eyes to the sun on this card, and they're giving me the word sunny disposition. I feel like it would behoove you to have a sunny disposition and a positive outlook on life to the best of your ability. And it doesn't mean you will, like maybe you'll still have off days, but like overall, doing your best to cultivate a positive perspective is just going to uplift you and allow you to take opportunities you otherwise might not take, if that makes sense. Like for instance, if you feel jaded in love, you might have people like try to show interest, and you're like, no, everyone's a cheater. But not everyone's a cheater. Like there's a million examples of people not being cheaters, you know, contrary to what, you know, like before the For You page on TikTok gets honed in, like sometimes it just shows you any old popular thing. And so I remember there was a lot of like just not healthy relationship stuff that would pop up on my For You page, and I'd be like, I just took that as an opportunity to be like, okay, universe, this is what I'm not asking for my love life. That's a boundary I'm setting. I don't want that in my love life going forward. But it's also like, if you let that dictate your like point of view on love, are you going to let love in? And that's more general. That's just an example. But it's like, just because one job sucked doesn't mean the next one will suck as well. It is kind of the message. So keep that in mind. I would try to keep a sunny disposition. I would actually open to love. I would try to expand your heart center and heart chakra. Maybe that's an exercise we can run through really quickly, because that can be just helpful to do as an energy work exercise. But so Archangel Muriel, open your heart to give and receive love. Your essence is love. I feel like there's like a heart expansion underway for you. Not a physical heart expansion, an energetic heart center expansion. You probably don't want, you know, a rapid physical heart expansion, except for your heart to do its normal thing. It's pumping blood and stuff, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is I feel like your heart center is expanding, and you're becoming more magnetic because of it, is what they're showing. So I would, whatever practices you're doing that are like expanding your heart chakra, opening you to love, I feel like that's actually making you more magnetic to like abundance and what you want in life as well. They're also saying you're not broken, this card popping out. The message is like, I think you're just not as broken as you think. That tends to come through as a message, but it's just something to keep in mind is I feel like the universe is working to heal you. And it's kind of like these bowls in Japan when they fix it with the gold leaf. Their philosophy is objects are more beautiful because they have been broken. I don't feel like you've been broken, but I feel like if you feel like you're healing, you're actually going to come out on top from anything that's been they're almost showing you underwater. Disheartening or heartbreaking is what they're saying, so keep that in mind. That's what I get for you. I hope that helps. Next question. Just going through the Q&A here, one second. Karma Queen, MG, am I moving in the right direction towards love? Overall, yes. I think they're showing me, I'm not trying to call you out, but they're showing me like grabby hands. And, you know, like when, I'm not saying you're a kid, but you know when kids are really excited for something and they want something like mine and they like kind of grabby hands. Try not to be grabby hands is one thing they're saying. It's very easy. I get it. It's very easy to be excited about things. But I think one of the messages is try not to get attached and latched onto people if you can help it. I'm not saying you're like terrible with it, by the way. It's a reminder that will help you. Overall, I feel like you're moving in a good direction towards love, though. Honestly, yes. I would also be open to change and like letting things evolve, because like day 2 might not be the same as day 1, and like phase 2 in a relationship might not be the same as phase 1, if that makes sense. So be open to letting things evolve and letting life grow you through the process of love as well as something they're talking about. I actually see you like charging through lessons, like lessons in love, where it's just like you're just like it's almost like going into beast mode and like just like busting through the obstacles and the lessons. So you're learning a lot and you're doing well. But they're also talking about calming down in love might be helpful. I'm not saying like put the fire out. I'm not saying don't be in love. It's more just like to the best of your ability, take a deep breath and like not get too overwhelmed and not be pulled off your center, if that makes sense. And what does that mean? What's the best way to describe that? Because like I don't want you to, that doesn't mean just like ignore love because you're like, oh, I'm not being pulled off my center. It's like, yeah, let life and love like enrapture you 100%. But just don't lose yourself in the process is more what I'm trying to say. I hope that makes sense, Karma Queen. Sam I am. Will B and I get through this period of space? Let me see. I need to double check. Will B and I get through this period of space? I feel like, I mean, overall, it's like you can. Will you guys? I'm not sure that you will. I don't like giving that message, but my body pendulum's swinging to no. I wouldn't give up necessarily. I'd still try and see what happens. High Priestess is popping out as a card. Okay, clarification. You're going to have to do a lot of work to make it work with the Seven of Wands. High Priestess, I feel like you already know. I do feel like it's going to take some grit on both ends. In some ways, like, the outcome is up to you guys. Right now, what does it look like? It's difficult, but possible is what I'd say. It's pretty much what I'm getting for you. I'm not sure it will last, if I'm being honest with what I'm getting. I hate bringing through that message, but I'm going to bring through what I'm getting. So keep that in mind as well. But I'm also not going to be like, no matter what you do, it's not going to work. I need to check the time. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I used to have the time when I was watching the live. My guides are saying I might need to end the live soon, but I'm going to keep going for a little bit here. Okay, what's next? So I can go through the Q&A here. Angelina 1, how do you get rid of the sadness in yourself now? So you're feeling sad. Let's see. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a journey, if I'm being honest. I think one of the messages they're giving me is like change your perception, change your reality. So there might be a few ways you're looking at things that are causing undue sadness. And I'm not, because sometimes like there's a trigger and we feel the emotion. And it's okay. It's good to unravel those things. And when it happens and you're feeling like, okay, feel it, process it, let it move out of your system. One thing to watch out for is creating stories around the triggers that and creating stories around the situation that kind of sticks that emotion, if that makes sense. For instance, maybe to give an example from my own life, if this makes any sense. Once upon a time, there was a girl I was really into, and I thought I had this reading. This was a while ago, and I was like, okay, this year is the year. This girl is for me. Like we click, and I think I'd just broken up with my girlfriend at the time, and then I met this other girl. I'm like, okay, you're super cute, and I know I'm supposed to meet someone this year as per that reading I got. Like this is like we're clicking. Like there's electricity here. Like let's do this. And then it just didn't work out. And so I thought it was my fault for the longest time. I'd be like, oh, what's wrong with me? I honed all this awesome stuff and did all this self-work, and now it's they don't want me. But it was more her, honestly, and where she was at. She wasn't in the place, and the universe was also protecting me because it just wouldn't have been a healthy relationship. It just wasn't good for me. But my story, I guess, was oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, no matter how good I am, I can't. It's hard for me to get with the girls I want to get with. It was this whole story thing, and it just caused so much just downness that didn't have to be there. And I think if I'd processed the hurt and the pain and looked into what's causing these thoughts, what's causing this trigger, what's causing these emotions, it's okay, I'm feeling it, sooner, instead of getting wrapped up in my story or been what's causing that story, I feel I would have moved out of that faster. Honestly. And also there was the story of oh, this person has to be the person because of this reading. It's funny because I ended up meeting someone else that year that was probably a much better fit and option, that I jived with even more in a lot of ways. And no, maybe that's the person I'll end up with. So, but all that being said, it was be careful of the stories you tell yourself and the perception you have regarding certain things. I feel that can help. I also feel there might be some fear that's causing some downness with this card. I would try to shed any fears. I would also try to brush yourself off from the past, and move forward in a new way. Getting into energy work or getting an energy work session could also be something that helps to shift beliefs and move those energies and any stuck things. Cool. So that's a lot of what I get there, to kind of help. I feel it's going to be self-healing. I think learning Reiki or energy work would help as well. But I feel it's something that you're going to be moving yourself out of. I don't know if it's going to be an instant shift, but I think you'll see results if you're okay, what will it take for me to get to be free of this emotion? And sometimes instead of fighting it, if you just sit and feel it and let it process out, that can shift things, and just being accepting of it or allowing it to be there instead of fighting it. Because sometimes it can be uncomfortable and you're you kind of fight it, and then it's trickier to just kind of process out, if that makes sense. I feel all those things would help. I I think in some ways, one thing I would look into is shifting yourself as well, and seeing how can I shift so I'm not as sad going forward. Not to blame you. It's more like because a lot of the things, if you think about it, I don't feel like a lot of things in life are our fault. But a lot of the things we encounter are our responsibility. Because it's like, let's see here. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I do feel like a lot of the things I've seen from a lot of different people, it's like you choose your parents, you choose to incarnate. I get that. But it's like once you're here, like on the human level, it's like like the genetics, like how humans work, how the body operates. Like, is that really your fault for incarnating? And you have this body and it works a certain way and there's certain emotions that crop up. Maybe not your fault that you have the emotions. However, your responsibility to learn to work with it if you want to have a happier life is what I'd say as well. Guys, I think my guides are telling me I need to end the live. And there are things I need to do today as well, unfortunately. And typically I try to keep Sundays open, but my brother's having, my brother got married and he's having a baby. And so there's this baby party thing and then they're moving soon. So it's a kind of a farewell party as well. So there's a lot I need to prepare for with that. I think I don't know how long I've been on. I wanted to try and be on at least a couple hours here. You're welcome, Little Moon. I'm super grateful to hear it. Thank you so much, Lori. And I hope I went at least 2 hours. I don't know how long I've been on. 2 hours? Perfect. I feel like at least 2 hours is a good length because I think I've gotten like 3 to 4 before, and it's like I just kind of stare at a wall for a while after that. But 2, I think, is a good medium, at least for when I have other things I need to do. You're so welcome, Destiny. It's my pleasure. I'm grateful. I hope these have been of service and the highest and best they can be for you. Have fun at the baby party. I will. Thanks so much, Salem Girl. Thanks, it's Stella. Karma Queen, are you putting this on YouTube anytime soon? Yeah, I'm going to try and put this on at least in the next week. I'm trying to keep up with it and not take all week to put it up. So if I can, it does take a second for TikTok to process it. If I can put it up tonight, I will. Other than that, I'm going to be, again, out of town this next week. So before next Sunday is what I'm going to go for. So thank you guys for the gifts. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's always a pleasure to do this. I hope you got really good things out of it. And I should be back next Sunday. I will see you then. I don't know how much I'll be posting on TikTok the next week, but if I can post every day, I will. Oh, thank you for the teeth compliment, EC. I appreciate that. I got very lucky with my teeth. But you guys have a fantastic week. Sending so much blessings. Again, if you are interested in a personal reading, that is available through the link in my bio on TikTok. But other than that, thank you, Marina. I appreciate it. Everybody have a beautiful day, and I appreciate you. And I'm asking Source to send you love, all of you. So thanks, Destiny. Always good to see you. So everybody have a beautiful week. I will see you some other time.